Good morning one and all. Now in today's class we'll be studying about steps in planning. In that, first one is analysis of external environment and internal environment. First you need to understand what do you mean by external environment and internal environment. External environment means what? Outside the organization. And internal organization means what? Within the organization. So first one, analysis of external environment means they need to analyze the external environment, means outside the organization. Okay, now it is based on one term is been given there as a socio-economic condition. Now what do you mean by socio-economic conditions? Now it is been dependent upon, okay, some classification has to be done, means based on the age, income level of the people, okay, then how their education is there, in the form of a table it should be prepared. Okay, like suppose think that the age is from 25 to 30. Okay, so to 25 to 30 what is the income level they are getting? Okay, income something they are getting round about 10,000 salary. Okay, then 30 to 35 what is their income level? Okay, maybe 15,000 salary, 20,000 salary. Like that way a kind of the survey or analysis has to be done of the external environment. External means what? Which is there outside the organization. A kind of the survey has to be done, considering what is the age of different people and the income level of the people. Okay, categorization of age, income, okay, their education, okay, literacy rate, everything has to be done in the form of a table. Then next one, analysis of internal environment. Internal environment means what? It is within the organization, means try to find out the strengths and weaknesses of the company. Okay, now everyone are having their own strength and weaknesses. Like suppose take example that as a student, what may be your strength? Your strength may be what? You are very knowledgeable and intelligent person, that may be your strength. But weakness is that you are getting afraid to come forward and give presentation, that is your weakness. Okay, so similarly even the organization will be having different strengths and weaknesses. So they need to find out what are the strengths and weaknesses of the company. The strength may be that, okay, the company is having a very good name, goodwill, reputation in the world and all that in the market, but the weakness may be what? Okay, like few workers may not be skilled, qualified, like that way. So some kind of the strengths or weaknesses may be there in the organization. So that is analysis of internal environment. Internal means what? Within the organization they need to try to find out what are the strengths and weaknesses of the company. The next one, determination of objectives. Now first you need to understand what do you mean by objectives. Each and every organization will be having one or the other objectives. Now the main objective you already know, that profit making or maximization of profit. Okay, so similarly many objectives will be there in the organization. So determination of objectives, how you need to determine or try to find out what are the objectives of the company, and according to that, okay, the company will be run. Like the main objective is maximize the profit or improvement in the profit or increase the sales of the organization. Okay, or the main objective also may be there to have a good name, a reputation in the market and all that. So like that way they need to determine the objectives of the organization. That is determination of objectives, the main objective or goal of the organization. Then determining planning premises and constraints. Now what do you understand by planning premises? Okay, now here they need to understand what are the planning premises, how the planning is been done. Okay, so that they need to determine. As already I have told you, before starting or conducting any kind of the task or activity, proper planning has to be done. Without setting a good or a proper plan, the organization or whatever plan is been set, it cannot be implemented properly. So they need to determine the planning, means they need to decide how proper planning has to be done. They need to set a proper plan. Then examination of alternative course of action. Now first I will explain you what do you understand by alternative course of action. See, fifth, sixth and seventh point which is there, it is based on the alternative course of action. Now alternative course of action means what? It is dependent upon the various options which are there. Okay, like suppose in front of the manager there are various alternatives or many options are there, like A, B and C. Okay, so they need to try to find out the good and bad points of A, okay, then good and bad points of B and C. Then out of that which they find the best method or best alternative, that method or that option should be selected. Like common example is there. Now when you go to the market to purchase any kind of the product, okay, if you want to purchase clothes and all that, the shopkeeper will show you many clothes in front of you. Okay, so you will not purchase or select all the clothes. What you will do, you will try to analyze that, means try to find out the good and bad clothes which are there. Okay, like suppose the based on the quality, this cloth is of good quality, this is of not good quality, like that way. And after that only you try to select the best cloth. So like that way, similarly in the organization also, determine means examination of alternative course of action. They need to try to find out the various alternatives which are there or many options in front of the manager. Out of that they need to select the best alternative or best option. After that you can see weighing alternative course of action. Once they try to examine or try to find out, they need to weigh, means they need to measure the good and bad points of all the alternatives. Like suppose if three alternatives are there or three options are there, A, B and C. Okay, weighing means what? Measuring. Measuring the good and bad points of A option, okay, B option and C option. Now suppose think that after measuring all these three options, they find more good points in option C. Okay, so they will try to select the C option, because after that they are trying to measure, okay, the alternatives which are there based on good and bad points. Then selection of best alternative. Selection means what? After weighing or after measuring the best alternatives which they find more better points or more good points, that option they will be selecting. Means that is selection of best alternative course of action. Then next one is establishing the sequence of activities. Okay, now after that they select the best alternative or best option. Establishing the sequence of activities. What do you mean by sequence? Like how the activities will be arranged in a order, in a orderly manner or in a sequential manner. Okay, now they need to determine the sequence of activities. It can be done, the activities can be conducted monthly, yearly, okay, weekly, daily. So based on that the activities are to be arranged. Means weekly activities also can be conducted, day to day activities also can be conducted or given to the workers. Okay, or it can be there 15 days in a month, or monthly, yearly, half yearly. So that is called as establishing the sequence of activities, arrangement of the activities in an orderly manner. Then formulation of action program. Once they will try to establish the sequence of activities, formulate the action program. Formulation has to be done. Okay, like suppose formulation means what? Implementation of that action plan. Once they had set a proper plan, how that plan can be brought into action or how that plan can be formulated. Then determining secondary plans. First of all, when they had set a primary goal or a primary plan, then after that they can try to determine the secondary plans, so the secondary goals which are there. Then securing participation of employees. See, after that it is required that each and every employee should try to participate in the whatever activities conducted in the organization. Means there should be complete participation and involvement of the employees. Suppose what happens if employees are not showing active participation or they are not showing any involvement in the work, okay, then the company will come into loss, and the employees also should try to participate and involve themselves in whatever activities conducted in the organization. Then follow up and evaluation. After that they need to follow up. Follow up means what? Completely they need to check and inspection has to be done whether the work has been done properly, and evaluation. Follow up and evaluation means what? Proper checking, inspection has to be done whether the work has been done correctly or not. Okay, if there is found any kind of the error or mistake, so that for that purpose only evaluation or follow up activities should be taken place. Now these are all about the steps in planning. Just briefly we'll see analysis of external environment and internal environment. External environment means what? Means outside the organization. It is based on the socio-economic conditions. Socio-economic conditions means what? Like a table will be prepared in the form of what? Age, income level of the people. Okay, then education, literate, illiterate. Then analysis of internal environment. Internal environment means what? Within the organization. Try to find out the strengths and weaknesses of the company. Then determination of objectives means try to decide what are the objectives of the company. As a main objective may be profit making or maximization of profit. So whatever objectives they decide, they need to determine or try to find out the objectives of the company. Then determining planning premises and constraints. Now whatever plan has been set, they should draft a proper planning. Then examination of alternative course of action. What do you mean by alternative course of action? Means there may be many alternatives or many options in front of the manager. Okay, out of that they need to try to find out the best method or best alternative. That is, first try to find out the various alternatives. Then weighing alternative course of action. Weighing means measuring. Measuring the alternative should be done based on what? The good and bad points, maybe strong and weak points. Then selection of the best alternative course of action. After they try to find out the good and bad points or strong and weak points, they need to select the best method which is there. Means where more good points and strong points are there. Then establishing the sequence of activities. The activity should be arranged in a sequential manner, in an orderly manner. Or the activities can be conducted, day-to-day activities can be there, weekly activities, monthly, yearly, half-yearly. Then formulation of action program. Means whatever plan has been set, that plan should be implemented or formulated or put into action. Then determining secondary plans. Okay, now already the primary goal or primary plan has been set. After that they need to decide the secondary plans. Then securing participation of employees. Participation means what? There should be complete involvement and participation of employees. Means the employees should try to involve themselves in all the kind of activities being conducted. Follow up and evaluation. If there is kind of a mistake or error, okay, for that correction evaluation has to be done. Okay, then there should be proper checking and inspection. Now these are the steps in planning. Thank you.